I'll be 79 the 13th of January. I have one more birthday before I get to be 80. Of course, I'm trying to look like 100 today because this is a centennial, a bicentennial, or something like that, is it?
Thank you.
You're quite welcome. Water in the hole. I said, well, that's part of it. Now let's look at what the Cherokee told to explain the same thing and why he told it. The Cherokee used the old thieving dog that stole the lady's meal out of the canona, where she had beat it the night before, put a piece of chestnut bark over the top to keep anything from falling into it, leaned the beater up against it, left it on the outside because it tastes better. When she gets it the next morning, when she went out there, it was gone. Well, what had happened? This spirit dog had been coming in and had been eating the meal. Well, the first time this happened, they were a little bit confused about what they ought to do. Well, they just went and got some more corn and cooked it some way that day. It wasn't half as good, but that's better than starving to death. Well, then about a week it happened again. Well, now the first time it wasn't so bad, but now if it's happening about once a week, the corn isn't going to last until the next crop. So that's very serious. So they go down the trail and they talk to some of their younger friends, and this young man says, well, I tell you, since you folks going back home, I'll talk to the other neighbors around and we'll figure out when to come and help you with this, and we'll be there. So about a week later, in the afternoon, they hear these voices coming up the trail, and there's several young men around in the community. They're coming up to help the old folks. Everybody brought something to make a noise with. So the young man who had been first approached is in charge of thinking, and he tells them what they're going to do now. As it begins to get dark, we'll get inside the cabin, open the door so we can see out, but everybody stand in the shadow, and nobody make a noise. Now just imagine little white children and grown folks not making any noise. They'll sneeze or cough or do something, but now the Indian will absolutely not make a noise. They'll absolutely make no noise, and they'll stay there until the one that is in charge gives a signal, whatever happens. Now they're standing there. It's very dark, and then the moon begins to come out a little bit, and as it gets a little bit lighter, you notice the tree is all just as still. There's not a breath of air stirring. But in a little while, you see just one bunch of trees through there are bending over, and it's all in the same direction. You look above there, getting a little closer to the door, and there's a huge dog, just like an ordinary dog, but just 10 or 15 times larger. And he seems to be running, but he's really just coming through the air. And as he gets close by, he comes down to the earth, and he gets down to earth here close to this canoma. And he raises up, and puts his front paws there, and sticks his face, and it's all fuzzy with hair, like some of the men now wear their whiskers, and he laps up the meal. And after he's lapped up quite a bit of it, the young man makes the signal, and they all rush out making all the noise they can. Well, of course, the spirit dog just rises up and goes across the sky. They all go out, and they're watching. It's real moonlight now, and they can really see. And here's some of the meal is flying away from the whiskers. And the dog goes on out of sight, but the meal stays there. Now, that's very unusual. And they are awestruck, you might say, because they are watching that meal that ought to settle to the earth, but it doesn't. And they're really amazed and surprised. And about that time, they hear a voice that speaks to them and says, yes, since you have been so kind to help the old people, I will leave this meal up here to let you know that I will never let the thieving dog come back and steal the old people's meal again. Now, what's the truth in that story? He's not going to let them steal the meal. Well, now, over in one part of the world, he was not going to destroy them by water.
Yeah.
In another part of the world, it's a meal. Now, why don't the Cherokees use the rainbow? Why didn't they use that to mean care over all, you see? That care over all is what is the truth, whether it's meal or whether it's water, fire, or what else. Now, why don't they use the rainbow? Have you ever looked at a rainbow go from horizon to horizon in a real mountainous area?
Mm-hmm.
Not like it is the Cherokee. It might be up here. You see little pieces of it. It's beautiful, but you don't have that feeling of overall. But
You can't
look
see
up,
the whole thing.
all
can you?
right, you look up at the Milky Way at night, and you have the feeling of overall.
Yeah.
Now, the people who wrote the Hebrew bit of mythology, that is a part of our Bible. They were in an area where they looked out and saw the rainbow. They saw it from earth to earth, so that was a good analogy to use. It isn't worth a happy in the mountains, though. So you must fit the truth to the circumstances and get your story to work in that way. And you can't do it without some of this. The lumps and bumps have to be there.
Sure do.
I'm
Thank
gonna,
you for
I'm
that.
going to try to put those things down and look at them and be disgusted. I may feel the same way I felt when I got this book written. That was
But you
my
just can't
first
put
book.
those feelings down on paper. You got
You
to
surely
talk them
can.
down.
You surely can. But now, when you go into this book, it's a recipe book. It's a book where how to make my bread, and bread meaning food.
Yeah.
And you get in there, and it's nothing about 2 tablespoonsful, or a half a pound, or 2 grams, or a cupful of anything. Why? Why did the Cherokees not say it with cups and spoons and grams and pounds and such as that? Because they took what they had and they made what they needed. Now this dear old lady Aggie, after this book came out, this is a picture GB drew of her, but here she is working in front of her fireplace. A home economics teacher came to see her and said, Aggie, I want you to show me how you make something that was in here, bean bread or something. She says, well, you come to my house this afternoon at such and such a time, and we'll do so. All right, so she went to Aggie's house. And Aggie says, you do this and you do that. And that's why she says, Aggie, but you haven't told me one time how much to use. Aggie stopped what she's doing and put her hands on her hips, and she said, didn't you tell me you knew how to cook? The lady says, yes. She says, then you know what to do if you want the batter stiff. You know what to do if you want it runny. You know what to do if you want it real sweet. You know what you do if you want just a little salt. And then she went right on cooking.
I'm here all the time for a day off.
Usually you cod one day and spin the next.
Just say I said, Sue, I'm going to help you. Well, I was waiting until you were free.
Oh,
No, no problem. No problem.
Has Mr. Gentry come down? Want me to sell your stuff? No? Would you like a card? When you think about when Christmas comes and you want something, would you like a card so you know what to call her? Just like,
it's worth it.
do a lot of traveling and finding out. I've got brooms here from Belize, Jamaica, Portugal.
How you doing?
About 14 years. You want me to look up?
Nah, you can if you want to, just for a quickie. Where are you from?
From Burnsville?
Originally?
No, I'm from Detroit, which is a good place to be from.
I thought that your dialect didn't exactly sound like Burnsville. But you're learning.
Yes.
Hung up the good life in Detroit and come on down south.
I don't think you find much good life up there.
You've been doing brooms this whole time you've been down?
Yeah. Now, what I'm making here is a turkey wing.
Uh-huh.
And tell you a little bit about it. This is a traditional American Indian style broom.
Yeah.
And it was originally made out of grass. And the blacks, when they came over from Africa, they had brought sorghum with them for making molasses. And the sorghum has a head on it only about this long.
Uh-huh.
And they just picked it and selected it out over the years and came up with broom corn.
Right.
And then they took the idea of this style of broom from the Indians and started making it out of broom corn.
And you call that a turkey wing?
It's called a turkey wing.
Do you have a finished product anywhere up on your wall?
Yeah, there's a bunch of them right up there.
All right, I'll just go ahead and hit one of those and get a final product. I wish I could spend a day with you, but I gotta go. A lot of traveling to do around here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Appreciate this.
All right now.
What are the curved ones called?
I call them curved turkey wings. And
Oh,
they're
curved turkey
basically
wings.
a
Okay, I'll go along with that.
shape to them.
You do beautiful work.
Well, thank you.
Good craftsmanship.
I'll them ride it now. I bet there's 100 every Sunday goes down that river. Saturday. Out of them during the week.
Kind of hard to get the parts. Back then they had to make all uncovered it. I can't take it all in. Looks different than the other Parkway.
Oh, did it?
Yes, right.
No, that's little short folks was a print shop. Yep.
flaw in workmanship. Right.
A what?
A little bit of a flaw in workmanship.
Wait a
I got one of these angels to look a little bit older than the other one. I don't know what they're going by.
Uh-huh.
But anyway, we call one of them Pearl and the other one Mother of Pearl.
Oh, is that right?
Since that is the material that you.
Did you make this guitar?
Yes, sir. This is one of the last ones I made.
Well, the last ones?
Yeah.
How many you made?
70. Let's see, made 81.
81? You don't look old enough to make 81 guitars. You must turn them out pretty fast.
Oh, not too fast. I've been making them for almost 30 years. So, since I was 7 or 8 years old.
Hold that guitar. Oh, turn it slowly, slowly. There you go. You've been making guitars since you were 7 years old?
Yeah. I've been making them that are still together for about 20 years.
Uh-huh. Let's see that back up there, Pearl again, and hold it flat. There you go.
Okay.
Whoa, whoa. I can go in on it.
Okay. If I hold it still in the wind, I guess is what I need.
That wind's something else. Hang on. You did all this carving?
Yeah. Do the engraving.
Yeah, I'll have to go along. One of them looks a little older than the other. The hair is gray.
Yeah.
That's beautiful work.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate that.
I finished.
Do it again.
Want some more? That's the only one I know in this tune.
We'll start all over. I just got started.
Okay. You want Sylvia? No, she's not anywhere around.
What's your name?
Susan Francis,
Where are you from?
Independence, Virginia.
Say that's the only song you know?
It's the only one I know in that tuning, but I am just learning. I know a few more, but
What's the name of that one?
that was Vandy Vandy.
Oh,
It's a North Carolina courting tune.
well, I mean, it's an old-timey song, isn't it?
Yeah, it's that mountain modal tuning.
Appreciate this very much.
Okay, thank you. Okay.
A little bit of Red Wing.
Good morning, folks. We're a little bit late starting here. We have a string band caught in traffic somewhere down on 89, but we'll have a lot more music here later on through the day. And I know you folks like the shade up there, but you might want to move down a little closer. Stevie here's not too big, and it's hard to see him from all the way back up there. We're going to start the program with Steve Barr and Wayne Henderson. I should tell you first of all that they're from over here in the edge of Virginia. Stevie lives at Galax. Wayne lives at Sugar Grove. And another benefit of coming up close is that you can see their musical instruments. Stevie's playing a 5-string banjo that his dad, Tom Barr, made. Tom is set up around the corner here, and he makes dulcimers and banjos and really great fiddles. And there's some fine instrument makers in this part of the country. And one of them is standing here, Wayne Henderson, with the guitar. Wayne made this guitar that he's playing, along with some others that you can see by walking through the crafts area a little later. And the question people always ask Stevie is how old he is. He's 10 years old. And you people have had a lot more time to learn how to play the banjo than Stevie has. And if any of you'd like to come up here and challenge him after he's finished, you'll be welcome, you know. Right now, we'd like to introduce Wayne Henderson and Stevie Barr.
I'm gonna play Shot the Corn.